Hello, hello. Welcome everybody. We are live with some Q&A. Let's put out something that I'm dealing with today, some problems maybe y'all could help me with. Once we have people jumping in and asking questions, we'll dive into that. But if you're catching this replay, seeing this live, one of the things that I'm looking for right now in Utah, we're doing deals in Florida, and we have a great connection with a real estate agent that's hungry, wanting to list properties, willing to jump through hoops for us, willing to take our retail leads as well. So I'm in need of a real estate agent that wants retail leads from us. We can structure a way for you guys to pay for them, of course, find a way that makes sense. More than anything is we're generating all these leads and no one's servicing these leads. My main focus in my real estate business is finding direct to seller leads for investment type opportunities. But there is a handful of leads and sellers that want to get the most out of their property. They're not in a hurry. They're in great condition, and they would love to get a free home evaluation and meet with someone that they like and they trust and would represent them as their real estate agent. So if you guys know someone, I want someone that's willing to work hard, that's already working hard for their leads, someone that's perhaps cold calling the for sale by owners. I'm looking for someone here in Utah. Not only would you be able to get access to the retail leads that I'm producing, I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars every single month on marketing for leads like this. But you're also going to get access to all of my listings, as I flip houses and buy properties and resell properties. So if you guys are excited about the investment space as well, you're going to be involved way more with my team. You'll be able to learn. I'm an open book. I love helping and sharing and wanting everyone to be successful that associates with us. So shoot me a DM if you know someone, right? This is not for someone that wants a handout. This is someone that's willing to work, someone that has a sales background, someone that is already working hard, right? So if you guys know someone, let me know. We are currently looking for that position. So please reach out to me if you know somebody. I would really appreciate it. Do we have any questions coming in, Daniel? So let's open it up to Q&A, everybody. Welcome. We got people joining us live. Where we got people? TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. If y'all could chime in, let us know where you guys are coming from and any questions that you guys might have. I'd love to help you guys with what you have. I definitely have some things that I could share. We just recorded 2 podcasts this morning that will be hitting soon. If you guys don't know this, we do 2 podcasts every single week. The podcast is called Driving for Dollars Mastery. I'm going to turn off the audio as these questions start coming into me. We do 2 podcasts every single week, Driving for Dollars Mastery. We just did 2 great podcasts. We just had a student come on and share their success story. Kayla and Valentine in Texas got their first 2 deals. They're flipping them. Projected profits are about $50,000. Super excited for them. Broke down what they did, how they did it, so you guys can go duplicate the results. We had another guy come on and share some of the things that he's doing, which are really cool. So I met this guy through an event that I was speaking at for Deal Machine, a virtual event, and he's doing something similar that I'm doing with virtual land. And he's sending actual letters on land, and then he's also doing it with single family homes as well, and actually sending actual offers and getting signed contracts back. He's doing this in North Carolina, but this could be done anywhere. And we go through exactly step by step how he's pulling these lists, how he's sending these offers, what he's offering to do these deals. So it's a great podcast. So definitely check out that podcast if you haven't. There's a massive amount of value there. Okay. All right. Here's a first question that I'd like to answer. How do I get a physical copy of a sell and buy contract? So if you're just trying to get a buy and sell contract or a REPC, a real estate purchase agreement contract, every state has their state approved form. Each state usually has the form that the Division of Real Estate has approved for all brokerages and real estate agents to use. This is a standard all across the board contract that most people use for your state. Those are free. You could ask for a real estate agent to get that for you. Um, Usually, even a title company would have it on file, could give it to you. You could probably just Google it and get it free. Um, if you're just buying a house or selling a house, that's a great contract to use. If you're trying to do something creative, if you're trying to do a wholesale deal where you assign the contract, if you're trying to do a lease option or a subject to any type of creative financing with the seller, that contract's not going to work. And you're going to have something a little bit more customary. I've paid my real estate attorney for the customary contracts that we use. I'm able to use the same contract whether I'm doing creative financing or a cash offer or wholesale. I do give those contracts away for free. You can find them on my TikTok. I actually scan over them in TikTok. So go catch that for free in TikTok. I also do give that to my students. But the best way is to contact a real estate attorney, depending on what you're trying to accomplish with your contracts, if that makes sense. All right. Any more questions coming in? Let's cover something that I got from yesterday's live. So I was speaking live yesterday on a couple topics. One of the topics that we were covering on a live event we did yesterday was the disposition process. If you're going to wholesale a property, if you guys don't know what wholesaling is, it's where you're going to get a property at a discount and you're going to pass that opportunity on to another investor. So you put it under contract to purchase it, right? Let's say it's worth $200,000 fixed up, needs a lot of remodel. You get it under contract for, let's say, $85,000. Okay. And then you find another investor that would be willing to pay $100,000 for this house, right? And then he would put remodel costs into it, put it up for sale and make a profit. Well, if he'd pay 100, you've got it for 85. Well, you guys can make $15,000 just selling the contract to that flipper, right? So you're in the business of sourcing investment opportunities for investors. You do this by doing driving for dollars. When we talk about that on the podcast and here and other places, right? But once you get a property under contract, the next step is to work with your cash buyers. Your goal is to get multiple offers and to get the highest and best offer from your cash buyers. One of the things that I was talking about with the student, he's in this situation where he's got a deal on the line. I think he's going to make roughly 30 grand on his wholesale deal. And we were talking about the wholesaling process because he's got a cash buyer that's made an offer for $15,000 above any of his other best offers. He's like, how do I confirm that he's going to move forward or that he's a solid buyer? Because I've never worked with him before. So our process is, whether we've worked with someone before, we don't necessarily have to trust them. We require from every cash buyer a $5,000 non-refundable deposit. So when I sign a contract that's selling my contract to that end buyer, that's going to allow them to close on the house, I outline, this is how much my assignment fee is going to be. This is the underlying purchase price. This is a total price you'll be into it. Plus we require $5,000 non-refundable. And then this is the close date. I make sure I get non-refundable wired or cashier's check to my company. And then I also have the close date required by the end buyer to before the deadline of the actual underlying contract. What that does is it protects me. If he backs out, he loses, he has skin in the game, and I still have time to go with my second best offer. So my focus is to have at least 7 people through the property and at least 4 cash offers on every single deal that we do, so that we can take highest and best. And then I also protect myself and protect my interest in the deal by doing non-refundable and having enough time in case I need to change what I'm doing. So I just want you guys to understand this is a very important process. It'll make you way more money. It'll speed up that process of working with your cash buyers. Got a question here from Joseph. Hey, thanks for the content. Can you give a little details in your program that you offer? Yeah. So, I don't help everyone, right? I don't teach things like multifamily investing. I don't teach lots of different niches of real estate. What my specialty is, what I'm really good at helping people do, is do their very first real estate wholesale deal or flip or rental, right? and I focus on single family homes and small multifamily. What I help people do is find these properties at massive discounts to make a profit. I love wholesaling. The main thing that I teach is I teach you guys how to wholesale. So even if you have not a ton of money, you don't have a lot of experience, you don't have good credit, I can help you guys get your first real estate deal. So what I'll teach you how to do is to find a house at a very large discount and a buyer that's willing to pay much more than that, right? My focus and my skill set is to help you get your very first wholesale deal within 3 months. The way I do this is you have a step by step module program that gives you the exact action steps in the right order. One of my requirements, if you join my programs, you're not allowed to binge watch this content. It's a step by step implementation process. You do step one before you even watch video two. And then you do video two, you implement the action step and so forth. You have my personal cell phone when you get stuck, when you have a deal on the line, you need help negotiating. I do multiple one-on-one calls a day with my students to get them across the finish line. I'm in my recording studio, but if I was in my personal office, you would see that on my wall, I have students that are in different sections of the progress of the program, right? And we move you along with the goal of helping you get that first deal closed, getting your first check, and getting you out on that success wall and sharing your story on my podcast. So if you go to my podcast, Driving for Dollars Mastery, you'll see that. And that's how it works. So we do group coaching calls. You have my personal cell phone. You have the step-by-step action steps. I keep you guys accountable. I do what's called an accountability Monday, where I want an update from each of you every Monday, right? I'm very involved with my students. And so that's kind of what I offer. If you have questions, more questions on how it works or how much it costs, how it's structured, we have a couple different options there for you guys. The best and easiest way is to jump on and book a call. So my website is Driving for Dollars Mastery. You can book a call there. That's easy to do. But in every single one of my social media platforms, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, um, go to my bios, and there's going to be a link that you can click in there and get on our calendar to talk to us to see if we're a fit for you. Um, love to, if you guys have been on the fence or looking for a coach, be happy to talk to you and see if we're a fit for you. I have batch leads. Here's another question from uh, Buddy. I have batch leads. I just want to find a large discount. Confused on the filters. I want to find the large discount. Confused on the filters. So Batch Leads is a texting platform, batch.com. It's a company that has different tech services. There's batch driven, batch skip tracing. It's a data company out of Arizona. Evo's one of the founders. Know them. It's a company I refer. I do use Batch Leads for my texting. One of the things that I do in my program is I do give you a breakdown and a tutorial on how to use batch leads properly. Part of the problems with mass texting right now is you have to register your phone numbers to get good deliverability, and you're always changing up your texting templates for deliverability. Um, you guys should be shooting for about a 10 to a 25% response rate. So that means for every text message you send out, you should see anywhere between a 10 to 25% response rate. If you're not seeing that high of a response rate from your text messaging, you probably have set it up improperly. Okay. So that would be my suggestion. So this question is pretty broad. You want to find the large discount, but confused on filters. There's lots of things you could be doing wrong there. What's the point of driving for dollars when you can find vacant properties on PropStream? How do I say this? Why does driving for dollars work so much better from PropStream? So PropStream is a database that they get from the county website, from the county recorder's website. Ultimately, that's where all the data comes from. You're actually better off if you want to pull a list to actually go to the county recorder's website or their office, pull a list of that they have on file. It's going to be cheaper. It's going to be more up to date. It's going to be more accurate. Um, Batch Leads it's a place that you can buy a list of people that could potentially sell their house at a discount. You can get their vacant list and their high equity list and lots of different lists. You can also, in place of that, you can go to the county courthouse, the county recorder's office, and you can get the eviction list. You can get the probate list. You can get the tax delinquent list. There's lots of different lists that you can buy and that you can get from different places. The problems with these lists is that's what everyone else is doing because it's very easy to do. There's no barrier of entry. So remember, I mentioned Evo over at Batch Leads. He did an interview with Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, who I actually learned how to cold call from back in the day. Good dude. And the interview was awesome because he was talking about there's certain people in just batch skip tracing, certain homeowners that are getting as many as 10 text messages every single day about their house. That's just through his text messaging services. Imagine all the other ones out there. It's because every other guru is saying, do this, go buy this list from PropStream, go pull this list. Uh, PropStream is a very good marketing company that targets influencers like me to push their product for me to get paid 40% of everything that you guys spend at PropStream. I don't push PropStream to get 40% from you guys because that's not the most productive way for you guys to make money. The most productive way to make money is driving for dollars. And I'm not getting paid to say that. You're getting paid for me saying that. Why is it the most productive list? Because if you're willing to do a little bit more work than the next guy, you're going to create a marketing list that not only nobody else has, some of those properties might be on the general marketing list, but you're going to identify and find properties that no one else is marketing to. If you don't believe me, go listen to my podcast called Driving for Dollars Mastery. Consistently, over and over and over, I'm having students that are like, dude, I found this deal. I'm going to make crazy amounts of money. I mean, as much as over six figures on a wholesale deal. And they're saying consistently, this house, the seller told me it's been vacant over years. I personally, here in Utah, one of the most competitive markets in the country, found a Driving for Dollars deal last year. It made us over six figures. We actually found multiple. We found three houses. It was basically two houses on one parcel and then a third house. Made us over $160,000. And the one was completely vacant, but they were all on the same street. And the one had been vacant for over a decade. Right? You are going to go out there and build a list that no one else has. You're going to market to people that have never been marketed to, because there's a little bit bigger barrier of entry in going and building that list yourself. The other thing is when someone has a property that's thorn on their side, they want a pawn shop for their house. They want to sell it as is. They don't want to deal with it. Well, guess what? They don't want to deal with maintenance as well. So you're only adding the properties with physical signs of neglect. Where you're buying lists, you're going to be marketing and spending money to marketing to houses that are actually really good shape, that are not ever going to be motivated to sell. They love the house. But when you drive and you only add ugly houses, you're only focused on the worst of the worst properties, right? And so your marketing dollars will get you more return. I have never found another marketing channel that gets you a better ROI than Driving for Dollars. And that is tested, proven, actual mathematical numbers, right? And that is just a handful of the reasons. One of the other reasons for Driving for Dollars is you have the ability to scale. Let's say you're buying a list from PropStream. You're buying the vacant list, like you had mentioned. Well, guess what? There's only so many on PropStream for the vacant list. Now you got to go pull another market. You got to put together a team together, and or you got to get a different list and hope that's more successful. With Driving for Dollars, you can continue to add how many properties you add each week, and you can redrive those areas every 6 months. So you really can scale your business systematically. All right, great questions though. But dude, there's absolutely nothing better than Driving for Dollars to start and scale your business. Yeah, I said I'm an investor. Can I get on your buyers list in Michigan? I don't do any wholesaling in Michigan. At all. If you want to get on my buyers list here in Utah, we could get you there. What I would suggest, if you want to get on a wholesaler's cash buyers list and buy deals from them, just Google "sell my house fast" and the city that you're in, those are going to be your wholesalers most of the time and investors. And all you do is just pick up the phone and be like, hey, I got your number online here. I'm an investor. I'd like to buy your wholesale deals. Do you guys wholesale any of your properties? You keep everything that you find, right? And find out if they're wholesaling. If they are, be like, how do I get added to your buyers list? They'll ask you what your buying criteria is, or what your buy box is, the terminology they might use. Give them that info and you can get added to their email list. Shane said, I still don't see it being possible to make six figures on a wholesale deal. Okay. It's, I don't know what to say to that, because it is possible. I'm not, and it's not just me saying that. It's many of my students on my podcast. It's text messages I've received, actual HUD statements that I've shown even online. It is very much possible. Is it possible to make a six-figure wholesale deal on a house that's worth about 200,000, 150,000? Probably not, just because there's not enough spread. The first, six-figure deal I did was actually last year. I had done a bunch of 60s, 70s, and 80s, but I had never broken that six-figure mark till last year. The way I broke that six-figure mark, it was actually two houses on one parcel. Got approval from the city that we could do a lot line. We could create two different parcels, thus selling off the houses as two separate houses. And we found a cash buyer that was willing to pay $105,000 over what we had it under contract for. And, the after repair value for all of that, for the two houses, I think it was close to $600,000 to $700,000 was the after repair value of those two homes. So it's a percentage of whatever the ARV is. I shoot for a 10% of the ARV, and that fluctuates up and down. So if the house is only worth $100,000 fixed up, you're probably going to get an average of $10,000 wholesale fee, right? So places that have higher inflated markets, or I have another student right now, Shima and Leo Henderson, actually. They were just on my podcast. I think it got released a week or two ago. They're working on a portfolio deal right now of someone passed away, and the kid that's inheriting it is willing to sell the whole portfolio to them, or maybe he's retiring. I can't remember, but I think it's like 18 properties. And the whole package is worth over a couple million. So pulling a six-figure deal on that one contract is very, very doable. And that's what we're pushing for them. So it just kind of depends on the deal. It depends on how much it's worth. So maybe that will create clarity, right? If the house is not worth very much, yeah, you're not going to see those kinds of deals. And they're fun when they close, because six figures really moves the needle for you, right? When your net worth and being able to invest and stuff. But hopefully that makes sense. How to get my first deal and how much was it? My first deal is I actually bought a duplex, lived on one side and rented the other. That was back in 2012. That was my first investment property. Been doing this stuff a while, but my first traditional wholesale deal, and I'd flipped houses and I had house hacked a couple houses and before that, but my first traditional wholesale deal, I'd hired a mentor. And this was the very beginning of 2017 to teach me this. And this is when I went full-time real estate, not just dabbled. And I found a house. It was on Porter Avenue in Ogden. I can't remember the house number. I would tell you, I'd be happy to. It was Porter Avenue. And the situation was, I'm trying to remember what list. Can't remember if it was Driving for Dollars, or I know in the beginning it was Driving for Dollars, code violations, and evictions is what I was marketing to, were the three lists. It doesn't matter. I found the seller. I sent him a postcard. They called, and the one partner called me and said, hey, I own this house with my business partner. I got your postcard. This is our last, I asked, okay, why are you selling it? It's been a rental. Why would you sell it? And he's like, well, this is the last property we owned. We had a partnership. We had over 100 rentals at one point, and this is our last one. We're done, right? We had a falling out. I'm willing to sell it at this price. You're going to have to call and talk to him, because we're not really talking. But if I'll sign at 80,000, my partner will sign at 80,000. You got a deal. So called the business partner, got him on board. I had no idea really what it was worth. I didn't really know what I was doing, honestly. But I had done what my mentor had said, which was build my cash buyers list first. Reached out to my cash buyers. I had one person interested. He made an offer at $90,000 for the opportunity. I assigned the contract to him for 10 grand, took all the paperwork, and got a $10,000 assignment fee. It was pretty freaking fun. Right, as a matter of a couple weeks from first contact to them to a $10,000 check. And within 8 months after that, I had made a little over six figures. And then in about 12 months after that, I had done just shy of a 500,000. It's really changed my life. It's been pretty freaking amazing. Till that point, I was washing windows, growing a window cleaning business, and dabbling in real estate. So it's been a huge blessing for sure to be able to do wholesaling. Yeah, someone said, explain about your program and the CTA again. Oh, is that from you? Okay. Guys, I'm running low on time here. I just want to say this. So many of the times that we're not successful in life. I was driving to work thinking about this. I got this text actually. My phone's live here. Can I read this? I don't know if I've got the text here on my phone from it. Oh, it's actually in the Slack channel. I shared it with the team. So I shared this with my coaching team. So I have people that help me, marketers and so forth. And I shared this with them because I thought this was super, really like way cool. So Ariana Johnson, she's a newer student of mine, and she shared in our Facebook group that's just for my students. She said, "Listen to a podcast, and this stuck." So this was the podcast I was talking about, right? The podcast called Driving for Dollars Mastery, and she said, "I'm finding myself with minimal time for what I know I should be doing. I find myself angry because I feel like I should be ahead, but can't get there because of time. But after hearing that I'm finding my emotions to be drama instead of legitimate action steps, I have only been at this a month and I understand slow and steady wins the race. This is not an instant gratitude. I have an amazing mentor and a support group. I have small wins and I need to have patience for myself, and all of that matters. So less drama and more action. Guys, what I want you to understand that if you really do want to be successful in real estate, this is not something that it's get rich overnight. This is not, you will cash those six figure wholesale deals. You'll have big wins. You can make $1 million a year, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take effort. It's going to take consistent hard work to get there. And I want you guys to understand that. But one thing that I do know, and why do I coach? Why do I do these lives? Why do I do a podcast? Why do I help people? I spent a decade, guys, working crazy hours, building a business, washing windows. I absolutely hated the space I was in. I was always out on the job sites, people calling in sick, having to go and fix crappy work that was done by my employees, and streaky windows, complaining customers, and people that were not paying me. And I brought on a business partner that didn't share the vision of what we were trying to build. And I felt like I was working more and getting paid less with time, which I was, by the way. And I was stuck. And then I'd come home from work exhausted, frustrated. I felt like I was a horrible father and a horrible husband because all my energy went to work and none of it was left for them. And the best of me was given to what I hated the most, which was my job, when it was a necessity to take care of my family. And there was a man that came along. His name was Tom Kroll, and he gave me the action steps. He gave me the belief. He gave me the permission, right, and the confidence to change that and to change my life. And I have a better life for myself. And the best part of all of it is it's been able to give me the time freedom and financial freedom to be able to do stuff like this, to be able to help other people have success, right? So if you find yourself stuck and frustrated, you're working your butt off, you have a work ethic, you can live a better life than you're currently living with how hard you're working. I want to be a part of that journey. I want to help you get there, right? That's why I coach, right? If you don't believe that to be true, just completely ignore me, right? You don't think I'm authentic, you don't trust me. That's totally fine. We're not meant to work together. That's okay. But if you guys see that I truly want to help you, if you want to get on my wall, if you want my personal cell phone, you want my support, I just want to send an invite to you guys, right? Like I really want to coach you. I want to be a part of your journey. I want to change your life. I've been able to build the best relationships with the most wonderful people. I've had students ask me to officiate their weddings, right? I've had just amazing things that have meant the world to me. I've had people, on the day their son's being born or their daughter's being born, sending me thank yous and, hey, we cashed out this check while we're waiting in the hospital. I've had such special moments with these people and being able to be a part of their journey. It's so fulfilling to me. It's why I coach. It's why I will always coach. It's why I will always help people, because I feel like I get my cake and I eat it too with what I'm doing. So if you guys need support, if you feel stuck, if you want that mentor, I know that it's so, so important to our success to have someone that's been there, done that, and can answer and support our questions when we need that. So please go to the link in my bio, book a call. Reach out to me, send me a DM directly as well, either Instagram for sure. I'm very active on Instagram. You guys can shoot me DMs if you have questions about the coaching, or anything like that. I'd be happy to answer and be there for you guys. So appreciate y'all so much, and appreciate you joining me here live, and we'll catch you guys soon. There's a video testimonial that could also be used for social media content from Kayla and Valentine. I kind of like jumped in, and it'll need to be edited out. Uh, but that'll be just an incredible, incredible testimonial and kind of proof of concept, right? Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm up to date to that, so I think it's the only one that I don't have.
yeah, I just recorded this morning. So yeah, no problem, dude. It's not like you should have it done. Just wanted to let you know it was there.
I think we have like a couple calls.
I think we had one at least, right?
At least one. I just saw like